Those of you on Zoom, up will be starting at 1:05. So, a coffee or water, anything, feel free to go ahead and grab that. And we'll start in 2 minutes here. My mom, so even better. This is so perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Exactly. Yeah, we just alternate clothes. Like I think Jill's wearing my old dress actually. Yeah. Got it. So cute. Peplum, Thank right? You. I was trying. I don't know. Yeah, usually peplum is like here out. That could also, I don't know if that matters. Great. I'm so glad you did that too. But now it is peplum. Oh, come on it. Oh, it's all right. The good news is technically I already did the work for you guys, so you don't have to do it. Like this morning I was prepping for class and I can just share it in the library so you can just go get it. The person came to class, you get it for free. Still in the game. Still in the game. Oh my gosh. All right. Just making sure everyone online can hear me. I will stop that back. Hear that. Sure. Right. So today's class, we are creating smart plan in TV Command. Okay. So I know that sounds pretty fancy. Thanks, Rona. Appreciate it. I know that sounds pretty fancy. And A, it's going to be probably the most useful thing you implement in your business. But B, it's not going to be that tricky. So even if you don't feel, let's say, that you are advanced in your technology experience, that's okay. For today's class, I really already did the work for you. I am going to teach you, but I'm going to give you 3 smart plans for free, right? I'm just going to show you where to grab them that are optimized by AI, okay? Meaning I told ChatGPT this morning, and I'll show you exactly what I did. Tell me the, best campaign to convert leads to an active buyer or seller, right? Tell me the best way to convert a a closed buyer or seller into more referrals, right? So it gave me that exact plan, and I'm going to give you that exactly as well, okay? So just bear with me though. We just need to do a couple items of housekeeping before I show you where that is. Um, First of all, I just want to talk to you about what smart plans are. So where we're going in today's class is command. So that's agent.kw.com to log in. And the smart plans tab is on the left-hand side. It'll be that icon that looks like a to-do list with a settings gear. And again, if you're working on getting logged in, we're logging in on command. So it's agent.kw.com. And then on the left-hand side, you'll notice I clicked the KW logo to pan out my menu, but the 4th option down will be Smart Plans. And it, again, looks like a to-do list with a settings gear, which I find very fitting because what Smart Plans are is they go above and beyond just being like it's sending automated emails, which it does, but it also generates automated text messages. It can. I'll talk to you more about that. It can automatically tell you when to be calling your contacts. If that's, let's say, 3 months after you sell with them, 6 months, a year when you sell with them, right? Or if an open house, what does that look like? Is that 2 days after, 5 days after? I have that all laid out for you in the smart plan. All right, but what it can do, yep, is it's going to just automate all of your systems for you. And the one extra piece that you need to know is how you get a lot of those reminders is your command app. So make sure that you have your command app downloaded on your phone. Okay, and I'll show you towards the end of class how we're going to interact with these contacts so that it turns it into a successful 33 touch, right? All about staying top of mind and in front of your contact. I saw a stat. I'm gonna put I'm just gonna make up the numbers in the stat. So if you probably heard it, that it's something like after closing, 87% of people would use their realtor again. But when they actually do go to buy or sell next, something like 18% actually. It was made up. Okay, but it's something like that. And like, why? Because you don't have, I mean, I don't randomly think of, you know, they do, they probably need this. I mean, I don't live together, much less, right? So creating a plan that like creates a system for when to ask them in an appropriate, polite way, right? That you feel comfortable with, creating a system one time, then you don't think about it. Okay? And you just automatically create the system. Oh, it scangled as I walk away. Thanks. I'll try to stay close. Can you hear it fine now? Because I'm thinking maybe when I'm by the computer. Okay. Okay. So
Yes.
let's go ahead. First, what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about the automated texting platform. Then I'm going to give you access to the smart plans, and I will also show you how. So if you want to create more smart plans, you can. Smart plans, I will get into next class. And again, when I say smart plan, what I mean is some emails, automated text, list for my or to target each set of clients. So today's niches that we're focusing on is how to get more from your open house. So it'll be an open house follow up. I'm also going to give you guys a buyer and a separate seller one for anytime you close. Just tag the sold in your database, and they'll automatically start receiving these emails. So let me go ahead and talk to you first about Twilio, and then I'll give you access to those. Oh, that's weird that the audio is. Let me. All right. Let me talk to you about Twilio, you guys. Thanks. Okay. Better, let me know. So first of all, the one last housekeeping thing you need to know is about Twilio. Okay. So what Twilio is, these plans. Okay. Now let me tell you why that's valuable. You have an open house, right? And one time that open house, it can automatically on their way out. Thanks for you have any questions you can answer, right? By the time they're leaving the house, they have a text from you already. Right? And days later, it'll email them, right? If you want to. Now, you don't have to have it automatically. Okay? So you to text them, or it'll automatically text them. Another thing the automated texting does is it texts them on their birthday, for example. Now, if it's not a school, it's not a school, it's the starter practice, so it's pretty novel. Also not coming from your phone. So these are highlights. It's coming from a essentially Twilio number. So you can. Right, I'll try that. Right. Oh, not coming from. It doesn't come from your number. You pick the numbers. Pick a local number, and people use that because it number, like you were going to use I have strategies where you your business number so they know it's not spam. But in general, it's really valuable for follow up too, right? Because yeah, open house, we do a lot of open houses, right? If that's the case. If you're working on getting a lot of your leads from open houses, that's very valuable to automate the process. Now, I more want you to think about if that's something you set up in your business. We can help you set that up. Okay, it is again $3.16. If you want to set that up in your business, just shoot me an email. I can send you steps to set it up, or you can come in and meet with us, and we can absolutely do it with you. I know that was just kind of a review about Twilio. Again, email me and just say more info on Twilio. I will send you that set up. Or you can come into the marketing center. We'll set that up for you. Okay. So get tech resources in-house. Sorry, Tuesday to Friday from 12 to 12:30 for open time. I'll help you set up the Twilio account, or if you book an appointment with us on KWB Resources. Oh, I'm proud. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, right. It's a no-brainer.
It's hard to hear
Give
you.
things to do with it. So that's great. So yeah, if you want more information on that, let us know. I have these really great tools from it. We did it for one of our clients, right? But I mean, we sent out asking for a nomination for people responded. I would like a 3-bedroom house and 2 baths. I'm like, okay, didn't ask, but great. You know, like for me, as a millennial, I will never experience for answer. Random numbers, never like. I will always see my text. So for text messages, that's great. Now, excuse me. Response rates are. I think about it. No, it's the market rate on agents, right? This there if you want to opt out. Research. So if you unsubscribe, if they unsubscribe, it really, yeah, it really does send them anything. And if they unsubscribe to Twilio text, not affecting emails, which I think is important. And you know, it just depends on what you do, right? Like, so hitting people via text and email, like, depending on what channel is best for them, right? Not duplicating your, or, you know, what they're seeing, anything that they're more complicating, but really they're saying, I'm only going to see one of them. And you can always tag your contacts by what channel first best on them. I know that was a lot on Twilio. If you guys, I don't know why the audio will be broken up. We'll try the other microphone, guys. Hang on online. I'll switch over. Lab and things. But anyway, guys, I switched microphones. I am just setting it up, so give me a second. Hopefully that will be better. You want to let me know? Or lie to me? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, let me know, guys. I did switch. Hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Yay! Yes, we can hear you now.
So now let's go ahead. Oh, love it. Thanks, Zach. Great to hear. Finally. Yeah, sorry. Can't win them all. All right, guys. So now I'm going to give you those smart plans that I was talking about, and then I'll show you the how. So if you want to do this later, I'll show you how. But I figured I would just go ahead and do the work for you to make your life easier. Okay. So first, let's pull in the open house smart plan. We'll pull in all 3. Okay. But if you can, again, I'm in command. So agent.kw.com. And we clicked on the smart plans tab on the left-hand side, about the 4th icon down. Okay. And so in this case, you'll see what smart plans you currently have. And Scott Lorry Marketing adds those, so there's probably a bunch of them. Okay, that's for a different class. But today it's the advanced class, so we're going to go to the library because I'm going to give you things that were optimized by AI, right? And I'll show you how to do this too without me. But in general, I went and asked AI for the best strategies, and I'll show you exactly what I asked and everything. However, if, again, in the library tab, if you can click on library, and type in JuLeah Designs. Okay, so first of all, this open house follow-up. So this one's on the very bottom. So scroll to the very bottom, so search JuLeah Designs, and you'll see open house follow-up. And you can click Add Smart Plan. Yep, Add Smart Plan. Okay, if you don't have one of the smart plans that's included in this one, it'll prompt you to download it. So just click download, and I'll explain what that means. And I already have this, so it's not going to do it for me, but just click on download if you see anything here, and then download on the bottom. And that's all you need to do for that one, okay? But then there's two more here, so I want the seller client post-closing follow-up. Should be right next to it. So again, add smart plan. If you don't have one of the smart plans, just click on download and then download again. Let me see where the buyer one is, because I made one too. Maybe I didn't put my name in it. 1 second there. Stay where you are if you don't mind. I'm just going to make sure that the buyer one has our name in it for it to pop up. Okay, so now you might have to search one more time. So if you scroll back up to the top of your screen, you might have to re-enter in our name here for the buyer client post-closing follow-up. Not a really savvy name. I'll work on that. But anyway, type in our name again, JuLeah Designs, and the bottom three are the ones you want here. So that's open house follow-up, buyer client post-closing, and seller client post-closing. Okay. So both the buyer and seller ones automatically ask for a review as well for your business. Now we're going to need to make sure a link is entered in. Okay, that's a big one. Just writing that down so I don't forget to tell you. We're going to enter in a place where you want them to leave a review, which is great. Okay, does anyone have a vote on if you'd like to start with the open house one or the buyer open house? Okay.
Start with open house.
All right, so again, assuming that you have those smart plans added, right, again, from the library, I searched JuLeah Designs, grab the bottom three here, add smart plans, and then let's click on My Smart Plan. My Smart Plans tab. So that'll show only smart plans that you have already downloaded. I believe they'll be at the top for you. And if this, so these always pop up and it makes the screen pretty small. Just a heads up, if you X out of these blue banners, that will make your screen a lot bigger. The open house follow-up, it says JuLeah Designs first. You can always edit that name. All right, but that should be in under My Smart Plans. You should see the seller one, the buyer one, and then it'll say JuLeah Designs, but that's the open house follow-up. And I'll show you how to change that name if you'd like to. No one sees the names. But what we're going to do, and you can do this to any of them, we're going to start with the open house one over here. So if you click on the edit button, so that pencil icon to the far right of that smart plan name, that'll open up the smart plan so you can see what we've created and what it'll do and how you can edit it if you would like to. Okay. So again, I'm under My Smart Plans. If I lost anyone, please let me know and I can show you those steps again because we'll be in here for a little while. Okay. So what you're looking at, and I know this looks like a lot, okay, but really let's just focus on the very center of your screen. Okay, that's all we need to see is just the center of our screen right now. Okay, and this is showing us, you'll see, all right, which day it is. So day one, what's going to happen? So you'll see on day one, okay, this is for an open house. So on the open house day, you'll see if you click on where it says send text, this is where it'll go ahead and put in the information for you. So it can, okay, so two things here. So Lisa, if you have Twilio and you want it to automatically text for you, some of these I have set up as a task reminder. So if you don't have Twilio, it'll remind you to send the text. However, if you do have Twilio or decide to implement it, then we would just click the pencil icon on the very top right. So again, I clicked on the send text, click the pencil icon, right? And I can change that to make it an automated text. Now, if you do change that, I just want to let you know, right, you do need to edit this a little bit, right? Since I set it up as a task reminder, I didn't have your name in there. A lot of these, your name will automatically display, and I'll show you. All right, but just a heads up, if you are going in and looking at it, make sure in general you're reading over the templates of any of these smart plans that you download, and make sure it doesn't just say, name, and it has your name. And there are merge tags, and a lot of these are already added in. But you see how it says, name, right? Instead of that, if you want their name to automatically populate, and again, this would only work if you were sending an automated text. So if you had Twilio, right, it could send hi, and then your contact's first name. You would just do that by clicking add merge tag right here. And then you can put in contact first name. And it will pull from the contact record their first name and enter that in, okay? So please notice the difference when there's a merge tag. Again, and when I first set this up for you guys, right, there are no merge tags if it's a task reminder, not in the body at least. So to see what I'm seeing, you would need to change it to send an automated text. If you don't have Twilio set up, you'll get this reminder right here that it's not connected, and you can always click subscribe in the marketplace, right? But in general, if you want to add merge tags, we'll come back to this. But right, all you need to do is click where you want to add it, and then click add merge tag to add in, let's say your name. Or of course, you can just type in your name. One more reminder, since Twilio is coming from a phone number that's not yours, I do always recommend signing the text message, whereas I know normally you might not sign a text. I would always include your first and last name at the bottom, right, so they know who you are. Please. Good question. Great question. So the question for those of you online is, okay, has it know which contacts to send to? And that's actually a really exciting answer. Is I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? But there are two ways that it can do it. You'll see right here that says add trigger tags, right? So on the right-hand side, it says add trigger tag. And I'm going to get to that. But what that does, essentially, if I were to tag the contact open house, so all I do is tag them open house, they would automatically get started on this immediately. So all you have to do is tag them. Now that's one way. I do have a, now if you choose to use, so there are called digital sign-in sheets for in command, okay? And let me show you this. I'm going to say where you are on your screen, okay? This does really help. I mean, you can pull up a separate tab if that doesn't throw you too much. If you can pull up a separate tab and pull up your website, or you can just watch on my screen, either one. What I'm going to do is go to my website and pull up a property of, let's say, an open house that I'm doing this weekend, okay? And I'm going to show you in a couple clicks how you can turn that into an open house sign-in sheet, okay? And what that would do, if you have that open, like if you had your computer open with the open house sign-in sheet, I'm going to show you. Or anything, it would do it all. And I'll repeat that again, guys, but let me show you how to make the open house sign-in sheet. That's concerning. And then I'll explain that again. Yeah, so, okay, great question. So again, where I'm going to do this, and this is kind of a segue, so sorry to throw this at you, but if you open a new tab and go to your website, so specifically your website, so it's typically like your first and last name .kw.com. It mirrors your email, but of course, so for the website doesn't have an @ symbol in it, of course, but it would typically be your first and last name .kw.com or whatever your email is. And if it doesn't show up, let me know and I can probably guess it for you. But the idea would be that, okay, I'm prepping for my open house. I'm going to go to my website, so I capture the lead, and I'm going to search for that property, okay, whatever property. Of course, obviously, it would be the property you're doing the open house for. But I'm just going to pull up a random property. So if you want to pull up any property on your website, it'll work the same. Or again, you can just watch on my screen, and I can always send you a video of how to do this as well. So anything that I say in class that you want more info on, if you don't mind just writing down a note and sending me an email, just say, open a house sign-in page. I'll send you a 10-minute video that'll walk you through it and make sure you have all the resources. Okay, so I am pulling up. So again, what I did is I pulled up a different tab, right? And I'm on my website. I'm going to the property that I'm doing an open house for. And this is so cool. I love this. Okay, on the very top URL bar, it's super easy. So when you click on the top URL bar, right, first it might highlight the entire URL, right? But then click again on the end and it'll just have like the blinking cursor, meaning I can start typing. All I have to do is type in /open house. Okay, so again, I'm gonna repeat that while it loads. And it does usually take like 30 seconds or so to load. But all I did was I pulled up the property on my website and I simply went to the top URL bar, right? And you click on the URL bar, it does highlight it all. We don't want that. We want to click on the end. So click again on the end of the URL. And all I did was put /, so under the question mark, /open house. Click enter, and it will reload that page with all the property photos with the open house sign-in sheet. Now, if you had this up, so two options here. If you had this up on a tablet or your computer, you can ask them, say, the sellers just for security reasons are needing everyone to sign in, so you can make sure they put in their information. You make sure you click the check boxes, because there are 2 check boxes, just a heads up, that sometimes catches them. And when they click submit or right from your computer, it goes right into your command and again goes right onto the smart plan that we're working on in today's class. How cool is that? So cool. I
I have
know,
a
right. So what you're
question.
cutting out is, right, if there's a physical sign-in sheet, usually you'd have to try to read what the heck they wrote, right? Enter it into command. By the time I do that, that's probably a day later. By the time I figure out what I need to say to best convert them and follow up, right, that's another day later, right? So we're going to save a bunch of time by, okay, I got ChatGPT to tell me what works, what phrasing, and you can even tell it to act like Jeff Glover and phrase it like him, right? But then they're going to automatically see this and be followed up with for the next 7 days plus. Yes. Uh-huh. Exactly. Right. Yeah, which landing page it comes from. Yeah, you'll know which open house it comes from.
I have a question.
Yeah, if you're doing different open houses that weekend, yep, you're exactly right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hello.
No, it will, yeah, I think just say thank you or something. You can try it. Go ahead and sign in if you want to feel prepared. Another option here is like for the QR code, you can create a QR code from that page, and I'll tell you how. It's actually, you don't have to do anything, but so you could get a QR code, and how you would do that, guys. Okay, this is really good for you guys to know. I know this seems like a tangent, but this is really helpful for you to know. You can get a QR code made for you for free from any URL by Scott Leroy Marketing. Okay. So, who did all your tech setup initially is support@scottleroymarketing.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. And Rona, thank you. I will grab your question next. So just real quick on QR codes, if you send any URL in an email, so what I mean is if you come up here to the URL of this open house sign-in sheet and copy it, right click copy, and go paste it in an email and send it to support@scottleroymarketing.com. Say, I would like a QR code made from this. They will reply back within about 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes them an hour to do that. But within an hour with your QR code. Okay, so now you have this QR code, which is a picture file. Okay, think of it just as any picture. So all you have to do at that point is throw it on a Word doc and press print. And now you have this printed piece of paper. Now, if you're feeling fancy, right, welcome to the open house on top of it, right? Put it in a frame so you can have it at the front of the house. Oh, sorry. So you can have it at the front of the house. So you can do those things, but in the very least, now you have a QR code that they can scan, and they get all the photos of the property as well on their phone when they do that. Oh, you're good.
Just that they get information for the house, but not, you don't capture it.
So it takes them to this page. That's where it would go. So they would be prompted to sign in. Now I could absolutely scan the QR code on my phone, and now I do have your contact information in the picture, which is great, but I could just keep walking and not sign in. So that maybe you would say, make sure you go ahead and sign in. I'll make sure just for the seller's knowledge. Or if you have it on your computer already up, then they sign in on your computer or your tablet, and you can make sure that goes through. Okay. Yes. Yes. That. Oh.
So I did have to agree to the terms of usage and that we could routine on my.
I'll show you guys online too. So what happens when you sign in? I wonder if that's newer. And Rona, I have not forgotten 1 second here. Let me just show you what happens like when they do sign in, because they do get all the property information. Wow. Yeah, and so I just filled that out and immediately got a notification from command as well that I got a lead in, right? So now it hasn't automatically started that smart plan. If you're just trying that, we haven't fully set that part up yet. But you'll notice if you sign in, right, on that open house sign-in sheet, your command app should send you a notification that says new open house contact form received from me. Isn't that neat? So it goes right into command. They get all the contact information, your contact, and about the house. And then in theory, the smart plan can automatically start. So they automatically get a text.
Cool.
Of course it is. Yeah, in that case, maybe just have always another tab open with the original one, or have it set. Yeah. Because let's see if you can, if there's an easy way to go back here. Yeah, I do know what you mean. How do I get back? Yeah, I would say if you click on the property from that, like on the right hand side, the little image of like the, if you click on this property again, right here. Oh, sorry. Maybe that would have worked. And then now you would be able to type in / open house. See, your site is capturing leads, right? Like it's saying you've already viewed 10 properties on your site. So if that were to happen, we can pull up an incognito window. So if you click on the 3 dots and the new incognito window, yep. And now pull up your site, it won't know it's you. So like the website can automatically capture leads for you, meaning if you look at 2 properties or 10 properties, whatever you set, it forces you to register. And that's what's happening on Lisa's. And Rona, I am ready for your question whenever.
Okay. I have a custom website that I made, so it's not the
Yeah, Rona,
KW
if
one
you
that I
want to
use.
drop your question in the chat or just yell it out, either one.
Can you hear me?
All right, Rona, whenever, I'll be here. Oh, I cannot hear you. Darn. Weird. Wait. Yeah. Will you try one more time, Rona?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yay, thank you. Okay, so I have a custom website that I made, so I don't use the KW website. Will it
Okay.
still work if I do the / open house?
On your custom site?
Yes.
I imagine not. I don't know what custom site you use. Brivity does that, but no, I don't think so unless your IDX is connected to this. I don't know where your IDX is connected to. Do you pay for a custom IDX feed?
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't think it would do that, but you could still like because you still have a command site like this, probably ronachen.kw.com.
Uh-huh.
So you could still use this feature. It just wouldn't be, on your custom site, but they wouldn't know that really, right? It wouldn't impact them. So you could still
Oh.
use this feature like for an open house sign-in sheet if you wanted, even if it's not your
Oh.
primary website. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay. All right, got it. Thank you.
And then yeah, one more thing, Rona, too, because you could
Mhm.
then in the smart plan follow-up that we're making for the open house, it could automatically reply like, hey, check out more properties like this one on this link. That would be your custom site. So it would route them where you want them.
Because I want to direct traffic to my custom site. So
Exactly.
would a QR be better then instead of this?
I mean, either way, if you want to do an open house sign-in sheet, you just have to use the command site
Mm-hmm.
like this. So to turn it into an open house sign-in sheet, that's a command feature.
Uh-huh. But sending the QR, like if I
Oh, I
found
see.
the,
To Scott Lori Marketing? Yeah, you can send
yeah,
whatever URL to Scott Lori Marketing, and they will make a
from my
QR code
custom
for it.
website.
Yeah, for your
Okay.
custom site, for your Facebook page, if you make a Google form to capture leads, you name it. They'll make a QR code for you for free, usually within an hour or much less.
You can do that in Canva too, right?
Yeah, you can. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, of course. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we have the open house, we in general understand how to set up an open house sign-in page, right? And again, guys, if you forget everything I say, and the next time you have an open house, you're just like, hey, I remember Leah said something about that you could do this. Well, then you can come to our open tech time or shoot us an email, and I'll tell you again, right? So just don't feel like you have to retain everything from these classes. Know the feature exists, so when you have an open house, meet with us. We'll do it together. Okay? Yeah. Yes, yeah, all their contact information automatically goes in command into your database if they sign in like that. And of course, you could absolutely, if you have a physical sign-in sheet for your open house, no problem, right? At that point, you can just manually enter those leads in, and we can tag them as open house leads, and they'll automatically be triggered on the SmartPlan. Okay, so I'll show you that next. Let me first take you through the middle here. Okay, so I'll build on what I just said. Okay, so if you can keep what we were just talking about pinned in the back of your head, I just want to walk you through what your clients or what the open house leads would be getting as a part of the SmartPlan. All right, so day one, what you're looking at, right? It'll automatically send a text if you have Twilio or remind you, and it will send an email, okay? Automatically. And so this is the part I did for you. Like I know today's class is using AI to build these smart plans. So I did that for you. I will show you the exact prompt I used, but I went and asked ChatGPT to phrase these things in the best way that it will convert a buyer lead from an open house, right? In the form of text, email, and call tasks. And it tells you how many days to do each. I'll show you it. Okay, but I already used the AI to do this. Of course, if you get a better script from your coach, use it, right? You can replace this with anything, right? I just wanted to give you something to go on, and I read it and I liked it. So, yes.
So in here,
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. Great question. Yeah, so this will automatically pull it. See how they're a bluish color? So that's how you know that it's a merge tag, meaning it will actually fill it in. You will see sometimes that is important for you to know because if you ever get these from the library, some of them, like this one, says address, right? But it wants me to fill that in, not a merge tag that would. Now, of course, that's important on like a text or an email, but notification. Mhm, mhm. Most of them are. I just want you to look at it in case I missed it because I was going kind of fast. If I see anything, I can just fix it after class and I'll republish it. So I'll, in theory, have it all fixed. But anyway, if you see anything, just kind of eye over it to make sure it sounds like you. I don't know. So then what it'll do next. So this is all happening on day one, the open house, right? And it'll send a text and an email. Then one day later, it'll remind you to call or text the person. And so what'll happen here, so when they're task reminders, that's when it shows up in your command app as your task for the day, right? And it's going to tell you who to call and text, and you can see those merge tags. So it'll automatically fill in their name that you need to follow up from the open house. This is so valuable because, okay, if I do an open house on Saturday and Sunday, right, the follow-up in theory, let's say if it's going to be 2 days after, I would need to do, some of those calls on Monday and some of them on Tuesday, right? Depending on when you interacted with these leads, this keeps that calendar for you, right, of when you need to be following up. So, and I put a script in there as well, guys, for you. Of course, you don't have to use this, but I just like a general script, and it even has like a text if they don't answer. If I go on down here, it's going to wait one more day. So you can see we're on day 3. Okay, and it's going to give you one more task reminder to create a market email. So a market update. So the next one, day 3, it'll give you a reminder to send them a market update. So something like, hey, I came across a couple properties that are similar to the ones in the open house. Even if you send them one property, it'll just remind you to do so. Okay. Then day 5, it'll automatically send an email and a text. And again, that all automatically fills in for you. Day 6, it'll remind you to make a call. So you can see what it's doing here. The only one you probably don't know about, and you can click on all of these. But you'll see on the very bottom, it then adds them to a smart plan. So the long-term nurture and the monthly neighborhood nurtures, so that you continue reaching out to them even after this 9-day smart plan, right? So this is kind of like I think there's maybe 7 touches. It says 7 touches to follow up with your open house, and then it'll leads, and then it'll add them to a long-term nurture to remind you to call them once a quarter. So if you were to add that neighborhood into their contact record, it would. I can show you how to do that too. Yeah, so then they're getting neighborhood updates about the property that they saw an open house in, They're getting an update from Walnut Creek each month on a mini CMA, right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they do always have the option to unsubscribe, and they can unsubscribe from this specific email campaign or all emails from the system. And then the system does keep up with it though. So even if you try to send them an email again, it won't. Yeah. So it does take care of that. So you don't really have to worry about it. But that's where like having the text option and email can really come in handy, right? Because most people don't see them both. And it asks slightly different. And, you can always, hey, I sent you an email with some properties. I just wanted to know if you had any questions about, right? Okay, guys. Now, as far as, so what you know so far, and maybe some to-do list items, and I'll show you how we got in here. But in general, again, I set this up for you, but I would encourage you to click through this, after class. I do need to continue, but after class, come through, click through it, read it, know what you're sending out and what it would do. Anything that's a task, like making a call, that would show up again on your command app, okay? Now, there's one thing I do need to talk to you now about. How do we get, to Lisa's question, how do we get the contacts on here, okay? So we started that question. Let's finish that answer, okay? So on the right-hand side, okay, now if you're clicked on any of the steps, if you're looking at a step, right, you can click on save at the very top right, and then just click in the gray area, like in the margin, the gray area, and that will push the panel in. So I want to see this panel here. So you should see like the smart plan name, right? But really we want to add a trigger tag. Okay, so add trigger tag. Okay, so on the right-hand panel, I just clicked on add trigger tag. This is huge for you guys to know. And I'm going to type in, let's say, open house. Okay, and I think, okay, there's no open house tag. That could be. I couldn't remember if it automatically had. Can you type in open house and see if it will allow you to create a tag from here? So. Might need to go set up the tag first, bummer. That's okay. Here, and I'll show you guys. If it's not letting you, I don't think it'll let you actually create a new tag here. Let me see. No. So I'm going to show you guys how we can go add tags, and then we can come back and add this trigger tag, okay? But in general, okay, we'll come back and do this. But in general, what you need to know is now that I added that trigger tag, and I'll do it with you, but anytime I tag them as open house in my database, they'll automatically start on this smart plan immediately. Right? How cool. Okay, so let's do that in your account. I know, very exciting. And then, I mean, the other two smart plans that I have for you, same concept. If you tag them as sold, they'll automatically get a testimonial review link for you, you know? So we're gonna do that next. And that won't take as long, guys, now that you guys get the concept, hopefully. But first, let me show you how you can create new tags. You can create that from the contact database or from your command settings. Actually, let's click on your name on the top right of command. Sorry. Click on your name on the top right. Your name on the, oh, sorry, yeah, click save. So if you're in a smart plan, which you probably are, yep, click save plan and then X out on the top right. Yep, yep, your face. And then settings from that drop down. Okay, wait, don't click anything. Let me just, okay, yeah. And then command settings on the left-hand side menu. Okay, command settings and contacts. And I'll review those steps again once I get you here. Okay, and then there is contact tags about the fourth option down. Okay, and you can create tags here, edit them. But again, how I got here, in case I lost anyone, this is how you could create new tags. There are system tags in there, like buyer, seller, default tags. But if you want to add like your church or your place of work, click your name on the top right of command and click on settings. And then on the left-hand side, click on command settings, contacts, and then contact tags. Okay, and so you can create new tags here. You'll see any tags that you have, or you can click create tag on the top right here to, let's say, add in open house. Now, when you type that in, you'll see different color options. And so you can pick whatever color that you want that tag to be and click create tag. All right, and now we can set that up as your trigger tag. Now, since we're in here, I believe, let me see if there's a sold tag automatically. Yeah, there is a sold tag automatically. So just a heads up, because we're going to set up a trigger tag for your past client follow-up as well. Okay, but you should already have that. If you have any questions on setting up tags, just let me know. And I'm happy to answer those. But now that we have that open house tag created in theory, let's go back to that smart plan. Okay. So again, we edit that smart plan just by clicking on the smart plans icon on the left-hand side, little settings gear and a to-do list. And then I usually have to X out of these to see a little better, but we want to click on the pencil icon to the far right of the smart plan that says JuLeah Designs on it. Okay. And then on the right-hand side here of this panel, this is where we can click add trigger tag. And we can go ahead and put in open house. Sorry, what did you say? Oh, yes, and then click add. Amazing. Yep, you did it. Ayo. You so know what you're doing. And I just want to point out one thing as well, in case this comes up for you that you want to use it. It does have the option to automatically remove your contacts if they reply to an email or, you know, an automated text. So if you're asking, hey, I just want to follow up again. Well, yeah, I already replied, you know, right? So you do have that option that if they reply, it can take them off the smart plan, so you can just be the one manually responding back and forth. So. Yeah, I don't think you really need it for this one. You could, but I would just leave it how it is. Okay, so we're done with this smart plan. Again, my only recommendation is coming back in here and looking through what you're going to be sending out and edit that if needed. What we're going to do for the rest of class is I need to show you how to add your testimonial link. So even if you don't have slews of past clients that you're waiting to send this to, this will be great to set it up, because this is not, yes, it's great to nurture your past clients, obviously, but why? Okay, yeah, we care about people, but more why? Because they will give you referrals, right? So this gives you the plan to strategically create value for them, like tell them, hey, 30 days after closing, these are the things you should be doing. And also, do you know of anyone I can help, right? So that strategy is all here. It does request a testimonial from them. So let's go ahead and add that link in. Depending on whichever one you want to start with, the buyer or seller one, they're similar. I did change out the verbiage to make sure it's buyer or seller related. But if I click on the pencil icon to the far right of either of them, I'm going to do the buyer one. First of all, you can see what it does, right? Again, in the middle is where you're going to be able to see, okay, what I've set up for you. And again, I use ChatGPT. I'll show you how after this in order to come up with these scripts with the goal of converting past clients into new referrals and creating value. So you'll see, for example, right, same concept. All right, day one, it sends a text congratulating them, right? The next day, it's going to remind you to send a handwritten note and a closing gift, right? And you can, of course, change the order of these, right? Then day three is when it sends an email asking for your review. So this is the one that we definitely have to change because we need to put your review link in there. So if you can click on day 3, send email, it will automatically send this email. We just need to replace where it says insert review link with your actual review link. Now, which brings us to a good question of, okay, where should I leave reviews? Okay. So Google My Business page is the top place that I would recommend having to link them. All right. So Google My Business page, if you don't have one of those, I'll talk to you about that next. And I'm in a Yahoo browser. But what that is essentially, let me go to Google. What that is, if you Google, let's say Chili's, right? On the right-hand side, you're going to see Chili's hours. You're going to see any reviews, photos, and wow, wholly legitimate suddenly is your company. You're not just someone who dabbles in real estate. This is what we were talking about, right? And did you say you already set it up or no? Okay. So you don't have to, of course. This is not the only thing you have to do. There are other places you can collect reviews. I'll get to that 1 second here. But if you do want to set this up, all you have to do is go to business.google.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. So it's business.google.com if you do want to set this up, or come meet with us and we'll set it up with you. Okay, so this is how you would create a Google My Business page, and we can do this for you. This is probably one of the top social media platforms I would recommend getting because you don't have to post, but it just establishes your credibility online immediately, right? So if you do have a Google My Business page, okay, I'll go back to, if you don't, I'll guide you on where to get the link. But if you do have it, search your business name on Google and it should pop up. Or again, if you go to business.google.com. But generally what I want to do when I'm signed in to my account, I think I am signed in. When I'm signed in, right, you can click on, if you click on your reviews right here, you'll see on the top right, if it's your account, that it says get more reviews, okay? So again, if you're logged into your account and, you know, if this is too much, you don't even have it set up, just again, put in your head, okay, go meet with Leah and Jules and we'll set this up for you, right? But under your Google My Business page, if you click on your reviews, it should say get more reviews up here. I'm just not logged in. And I can simply click on that button, which will give me the link that I want to put in. Okay? Or I could use this link up here. Now, if you don't have a Google My Business page, no worries. You can also prompt for reviews on your KW site. And I believe it's already set up for you to get reviews on there. So if you do have a Google My Business page, let me show you just where you would put that link. Again, if you clicked on reviews and click get more reviews right here, you should copy that link, or it should be copied, so you can go back to your SmartPlan. Okay, so I'm clicking back to the tab that has a red KW on it. And I'm on day 3. And again, if this is just, we can do this for you. So if I lose you, no worries. I'll be able to do this for you. So day 3, I'm going to click the pencil icon. So instead of where it says insert review link, I want to make that be my review link. Now, depending on how long the link is, right? Like if you copied it, it shouldn't be that long. So you could either paste the review link or we can hyperlink it, okay? So what I mean by that is, so if I click anywhere in this email, okay, and let's say I want it to say, click to leave a review. right? That's what I want the words to say, but I want them to click and it goes to that URL, right? I can click on add hyperlink. So add hyperlink on the bottom. I can type in, leave a review, or click here. And then I can paste in that URL. I know, right? You can do the same thing on your email signature for every email you send too. So if you don't have that set up, either like shoot me an email, send you steps, like in Gmail, yeah, you can just add leave a review to your email signature. If you want a video, shoot me an email reminding me that, or just come see us and we'll do that for you. Problem. So leave a review. So again, I just clicked on add hyperlink to type that in. And now when I click save changes, my Google review link will automatically send every time after closing. Now, if you don't have a Google review page or you don't have a Google business page yet, if you want to see if your command site has the leave a review, you can. Let me pull up. If you want to pull up another tab and go to your command website again. Okay, so under the More tab on the menu, Scott Lawyer Marketing, I believe, sets up for everyone a leave a review. Now, I think it's on the bottom usually, but you should all have on your command site under More. So again, this would be like your first and last name .kw.com. So this is your site. This is where we went to make the open house sign-in sheet. So your site, like your first and last name .kw.com, More on the top right. You might have to scroll, but you'll see leave a review. And if I click on leave a review, this is the link that I could use instead. So if you do not have a Google business page, I'd recommend using this. Or of course, Rona, if you have a custom, on your custom site, if you have a leave a review, you can use whatever you would like to use.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. So whenever these reviews come in, they will scroll on the front page of your site like this. Yeah. Yeah, I would say Google business page way more powerful because A, if they even find your site, it's because you sent it to them. It's not generally because they found you on the internet. And also, I mean, the Google My Business page, it builds credibility in search engine optimization as well. So it is a great place to link them, but this is a good alternative if not. Yes, but not vice versa. So that's a great point too. So those of you online, the point Lisa made was, yeah, like, so if they were to leave a Google review, you could copy and paste that in on your site to make it show up on your site. You cannot do it backwards, right? You can't leave a Google, like if they left you a review on your site, you can't take that and put it in Google because they have to be signed in to their Google account. So I would recommend, like you're saying, get the Google review, then go put it in manually right here. That's what I would recommend that. Or tell us to go put it in manually for you. How about that? Okay. But if you do not have a Google My Business page, honestly, I would make an appointment with us and just have it because it's a little funky. It's not too hard, but you go to business.google.com and you'll just like fill out a few things. And if it gives you any trouble, you know, you can book with us and we can fix it, or just go ahead and book with us and we'll do it for you. Okay, there's just like one more thing that I need to show you. I know I'm 2 minutes over. One last thing, guys, before you leave is, so again, I'm in the SmartPlan. So if you are, sorry, I'm jumping around. If you are using that review link, of course, you just copy and paste that in just like we did for the Google review page, right? So if you do use this one on your command site, just go ahead and copy that and we can put it in day 3 for the SmartPlan, right? We just click the pencil icon and then put in a hyperlink. I know that was a little fast. I just need to show you real quick and then I'll answer any questions. So if you want me to do any of this slower, I will. I just need to point out we need a trigger tag for this one as well, ideally. So if you're looking at one of the steps You can just click in the gray margin here to get that to pan away. I just want to make sure that you guys have a trigger tag here. You click add trigger tag, you can type in sold. Yeah, good point. So we probably want to actually make a new tag, which I realize this would have been smarter if I said this, 10 minutes ago when we were in tags. But yeah, I agree. Because, right, we have one for buyers because the reason I have one separate for buyers and sellers, well, of course, buyers like, congratulations, hope you're getting into your new home. But also, day 8, starts telling them what they should do. 30 days in, it's like, oh, congrats on being in your home for 1 month. Here's what you should do next, right? So, versus when they sell their home, that doesn't apply. I mean, in theory, they bought as well, but yeah, sorry guys. So to repeat that, yeah, really, I mean, recommendation, I would say, let's go back and create a tag that's like buyer sold and seller sold or vice versa, and then set those up as a trigger tag so that it makes sure, okay, yeah, the buyer clients get triggered on the correct smart plan. Again, same point as far as your homework is really just clicking through these to make sure it's okay. This goes on for a year, this smart plan. So it essentially has a few, like in the first week, and then it does a 30, 60, 90, and then a year. No, sorry, 30, 90, and then a year. Congratulations. So you can see that if you scroll down, but each one of them strategically also ask for business, right? So you'll see it provides value for them. Like, here's what you could be doing, or how can I help you? But also let me know if I can help anyone buy and sell. I'd love to help. Like, that sounds so nice and genuine, but I always feel so icky when I ask it, right? And so I love that it's set up for me to automatically just ask my clients every once in a while. Oh my, slow clap. Wow, you should be very proud. Good. You got a lot out of this. See, you said you weren't going to be able to keep up. Flying colors. All right, guys, for those of you online, I know that was a little fast on finishing the sold one. More if you just want to add that to your account and if you want to come in and meet with us, I can help guide you on any of the editing or the trigger tag, right? But just know that these features exist because this is probably the most powerful thing in Command that you could be using. Like, if you ignore Command exists otherwise and just use these smart plans, right, to reach out, that can really change your business.
Leah,
Especially
can you
if you
show us?
have one. Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say, Rona?
Can, sorry, can you go back and show us how to add a tag buyer sold really
Yes.
fast?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely, for sure. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to show you how we're going to add the tag. Okay, so I'm going to X out of the smart plan on the top right. If you've made changes, you can click save and then X out. And how we create new tags is clicking your name on the top right of Command, and then settings from that drop down. So your name on the top right of Command, and then settings from that drop down. And then on the left side here, we'll click on Command settings. So Command settings, second option down, and then contacts, second option down again. And this is where the contact tags are. So I might recommend, and the reason we're creating 2 of them is so there can be a separate trigger tag. So this is something you'll need to remember. Of course, you can always check. But if you come in here and click on create tag on the top right, let's say I could do buyer sold or sold buyer, closed buyer, whatever you want, right? Say I'll do green for money and click create tag. I'm going to do it one more time, but I'm going to do it for seller sold. So I click create tag and I went and added those in. And then that final step, right, to add that as a trigger tag would be to go back to the smart plan. And on the right hand side, clicking the edit option, that pencil icon, to then add that trigger tag on the right hand side. Let's say I would type in sold, and this one's the seller one, so I'll assign seller sold for this one and add triggers. So again, what that means is you need to remember next time that you sell a listing, all you do is type in seller sold, like you tag the contact, and oh, let me show you how you do that. Actually, that would be helpful too. And they'll automatically get started on the smart plan. and it'll automatically reach out via email, via text to them, right? It'll automatically remind you to call them when it's appropriate to do so. And I'll go ahead and add in the buyer one too, just by repeating those steps. And then the final thing I'll show you here is just how to actually tag them now when you're ready. Okay, so let's say you just had a closing. Okay, so you just had a closing, or you had a physical open house sheet even, right? And you are sitting down to add that contact in, whatever it is. So either you're adding the contact in, or it's an existing contact in your database. Okay, how you would add tags is if you click on the checkbox to the left of one or multiple of these contacts, you'll see this bulk action menu appears. Okay, I just like to note that if you don't check anything, it's not there at all, which I find a little tricky. So just a heads up, if you click the check boxes, then you'll notice this action button appear. Then you'll have the option to click add tags. Okay, so add tags right here. That's when I could come in and type in, let's say, sold. If you want to go ahead and tag yourself, I might actually recommend that. Look yourself up in your database and tag yourself as sold, right? So you can see what it looks like when you receive this. I'm going to do it too. Oh, sorry. So you can tag them from within the contact, but if you click again the check boxes and then actions and add tags, that's where we were. That's when you can type in whatever tag you want. And you can create a tag from here as well and click submit, and it will submit that tag. And it'll trigger the smart plan immediately. Like you should get it immediately. Pretty immediate, at least. And yeah, that activates the smart plan. So really, all you need to remember is what the trigger tag is. So whether they sign in on that open house sign-in sheet or you just manually put them in and tag them open house, they would then receive that smart plan automatically following up and creating a system on it. Yeah. So either way, when you have an open house, if you want to meet with us, I can show you how to create an open house sign-in sheet, remind you of that whole process again. But in general, right, even if you just type them in and tag them with open house, they'll start on that system, right? Same with any of your past clients. All you have to do is remember that tag, and they'll automatically start getting that. Now, and I want you to start as your next piece of homework, final thing is think about other places that you get a lot of your leads, right? What would it look like if you had a follow-up for each of those lead sources, right? So if most of your leads come from a church group that you're a part of, right? Or pickleball, having a certain auto reply for those might be helpful. And we can help you guys set that up, okay? So just think about where you get your leads from and if you have a targeted follow-up plan to convert those leads to clients. Questions? You're welcome. Are you not so proud of yourself? The world needs to watch out for Lisa today, okay? Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is for Lisa, not for me. She added tags and trigger tags by herself. Oh, yeah. Don't tell Tasha it's me. Well, this is helpful, huh? Good. I'm so glad. Amen. So true. Well, I'm glad you came. And if you have any questions, guys, just let me know. Shoot me an email. If there's anything you want to come find us, we'll do it with you. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.